Welcome, everybody, to another night of Cold Blooded Conversations. It's your host, Wally, with my co host, Johnny. How's everybody doing tonight? Hey, what's up, Megan? Um,
Dragon, good
ho-
to see you.
Hopefully, everybody's doing okay and everything else. Um, Tonight, we're just going to kind of talk about random things. Um, First things first, Johnny, you remember last Thursday we were talking about that one town had those
Yeah,
laws the township was passing?
yeah.
Well, they went ahead and passed them without having their public meeting like they were legally supposed to. So now all the animals are banned in that county. I just found that out yesterday.
Oh,
So
my goodness.
yep, they went ahead and did like they were supposed to, and they pushed their agenda through. And from what I was reading from the U.S. Art page, nobody's getting grandfathered in with whatever animals that they have that are blacklisted. If they do, they're going to pay thousands of dollars just to have the permits to keep them. So
Okay. You think there'll be any backlash over this issue?
there should be. I mean, damn, they're even considering leopard geckos as a blacklist animal. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. The list that they gave for what is not allowed: a leopard gecko, a bearded dragon, um, just all kinds of random your common uh, beginner pets, reptiles. Yeah, they outlawed them even. That's kind of stupid.
I can't even figure out why.
That back to that fear thing again. Well, I mean that's like where like in Australia, you're only allowed to keep the animals that actually live in that country, where Megan's at in Australia.
What?
Yeah, you can't import nothing or anything out. Import in or out of any animals. Yeah, you have to keep whatever the bearded dragons, the blue tongue skinks, the your venomous snakes, everything. That's the only thing you're allowed to keep in Australia.
Ah,
I mean, I kind of get why they did that, but at the same
yeah.
time, but at the same time, it's like there's more people out there that would, like to expand their horizon. But I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. And the sad part is, there's a couple snakes out there. Once they bite you, within 10 steps, you're
Yeah.
dead.
I mean, I could see that. They don't really want all of those to be mass produced out to a bunch of people.
Well, like she said, they don't end up with the damn situation like in Florida, the protection of the native species. And
Yeah.
I totally agree with it. But I mean, they do have some cool ass animals though. I mean, all
They
some of the
do.
reptile channels I follow, they've gone over there and seen them in the wild and stuff. I actually follow two guys that actually live in Australia, and they go out herping to see all the nature that Australia has to offer.
Nice. See,
Yeah, but yeah, it was just stupid. They outlawed leopard geckos.
oh, I don't get that. Out of all the dangerous stuff there is.
Yeah, leopard geckos, bearded dragons, um, anything gecko wise, crested geckos is on this blacklist. It's insane to see that they went that far with the stuff, and that's what's happening everywhere.
Just trying to wrap my mind around that. I don't understand that.
Yeah, it's that thing again. Yeah, Komodo dragons are one of my favorites. I'd love to go to Komodo Island and actually see them.
Oh, they are a fun animal indeed.
Very, very few and far people has been able to actually go to Komodo Island and actually explore that island for special permission, just because they're protected.
Hmm, I can understand that if we're talking about conservation.
Oh yeah. Well, and they are because their saliva is so bad. They actually have venom and shit in their saliva because of what's in there.
Yeah. Doesn't just sound like a place I'd want to go walking around at.
Yeah, Megan, the red belly black snake and the inland taipan. Those are the two deadliest snakes you guys got that are on the top 10. I mean, there's others. There's like the western taipan and all that stuff, but the main one is the coastal taipan. They're
Taipans
I
are
got
no joke. Yeah.
red bellies ain't even. And the bad part with a red belly black snake, it looks like a normal black snake until you pick it up with a hook and it's all red underneath. Yeah,
Um,
yeah, you're right. Taipans as a species, yeah, that whole that whole genus is a nightmare.
yeah.
But yeah, it's yeah, they've got some interesting animals over there.
Yeah. Well,
Yep.
uh, I think that's part of the whole evolutionary thing, if we want to say it that way. Is these animals look harmless until something's right up close to them enough to where it's too late, and then they have voila, they have a
Well,
free meal.
well, not only that, like we talked a couple times before, a lot of your non like venomous or anything like that, they're mimicking the venomous snakes and stuff to try to protect themselves.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But yeah, but over there, yeah, they've got so many non-venomous species. They mimic the colors of the red belly, of the taipans. Um, I mean, there's been all kinds that you. That's why they say when you go herping in Australia, you better know what you're exactly looking for.
Mm, the famous ones are the coral and the king snake. Yeah.
That's here in the states. Oh yeah, they always do. And bad part is the majority of the taipans and shit you got to go find. They're out in the middle of the fucking like a desert area. There's like no life out there. But yeah, there's so many neat animals. That and the oh, what's the one iguana or the monitor that they got out there? It's like a major protected. Uh, they call their monitors iguanas out there and over in Australia. But they have one that's very protected. So it's pretty neat. There's one actually in captivity known in the states that was actually donated. It's in Florida at one of the zoos down in Florida. The guy does. I'll have to send you pictures, Johnny. It's pretty neat.
One of the models.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
It's almost like white with black all the way around it and everything else. The blue tongue skinks, those things are so popular over here in the states in the pet trade. Megan, it's not funny. They're like ball pythons everywhere you turn it and everything else that they you get them.
Yeah.
They're just as popular too.
Oh
No,
yeah.
we're gonna try. We're so far we are trying to, but yeah, they've got quite the neat animals over there. It'd be cool to go over and actually see them out in the wild.
Yeah. Oh hell yeah. See,
Oh, the lizard. Oh, yeah, that is one too. Yeah, I forgot about that. There is a blue tongue lizard.
see,
The
that I don't
parenti.
know nothing, but when I was
The
down in
the
Florida, I used to love catching the anoles.
It's called a parenti monitor. It is one of the no, only with you, lazy. But no, it's called it's they're called parentes. They're or like they're the top of the food chain, right behind
Sometimes
the
lazy.
right behind Komodos in size and stuff. So
Oh yeah.
Ghost, that's always lazy's first thought. That's his mind's in the gutter all the time. But yeah, I
Oh
mean,
shit.
but yeah, it would be cool. It'd be cool as hell to go explore. I know it's expensive.
Hell yeah. That'd be awesome.
I bet it does. Oh,
Oh shit.
but yeah, but yeah, that back to that ordeal. Yeah, with that county and stuff. That opens the bad part is that opens the door to so many other places to push shit through without even having to go through the process now, since they went
Yeah.
ahead and did that shit.
Well, yeah. It leaves things as less restricted than they were before.
Oh yeah. Well, and I mean, at least some places, if they do put laws, at least they're giving people the chance to uh, work with it and everything else. But at the same time, this just proves, well, they're using their power, governmental power, to push things through without the public's knowledge.
See, and let's just say those that have spent their life and their passion to study and become experts, if you will, in these field of cares, um, all of a sudden have that revoked.
And that's what a lot of these, that was what's going on with this. It's once again, the reputable people, the good keepers, and everything else are being punished because of the irresponsibility and plus the lack of education. That's the thing. It's just there's nobody wants to take the time to understand why these people do this. It's
Mm,
no different than you doing tattoos, no different than besides me the motorsport stuff. Yeah, they
yes.
come after us for the motorsport stuff because of all the mods, things like that. But they're willing to listen on that side. When it comes to this
Mm,
side of stuff, they don't
right.
listen.
No. No, because then you have very heavy odds that are in hands, and they're trying to take the safest route, I guess.
They think they are, but really what they're doing is they're if you think about it, these places that are putting these laws in, these guys
Yeah.
have got businesses and they
Yeah.
why you're paying their taxes, but yet they're wanting to take away that money that they're
Yes.
so worried about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just that kind of shit.
Yeah.
It takes their money away from them, but yet they don't care because they don't know what. Once again, it's that uneducated. They fear what they don't understand.
Yeah. Eh, and well, how do I say? To a certain extent, it sure it goes from ignorance, but it's a very fine line between ignorance and actual, life value skill type of ordeal.
Right.
Because then you misunderstand something that could either be harmless or extremely deadly.
That's what I get. I mean, they need to an extent, like you. Oh yeah, that's exactly it. And they don't want to understand it, and
Yeah.
that is the that's the biggest dilemma with a lot of this stuff is
Yes.
they don't want to understand it, and so they're punishing everybody because of it.
Yes. There's deeper pages to the book of what they're trying to look at, and they don't care to look at the rest.
Right. But I mean, that's the thing. It's just it's getting more and more out of hand. I mean,
Yeah. Well, yeah. At some point, you gotta ask yourself and the system of things: is this really reasonable anymore?
yeah.
Agreed.
That's just like now one of the places I follow too, out of that ordeal. Big corporate chains are stepping in now into the reptile community and stuff, um, and stepping on people's toes, basically chasing out your small time businesses, your mom and pop shops.
See
And
to that.
the bad part is, all these years, these companies didn't want nothing to do with it, and now all of a sudden they're seeing what's being done on the corporate side, so now they're jumping in to push out the little people.
Well, see, here's what I've noticed from it, Wally brother, is that the reptile community shows two things to me. It shows passion and it shows education, right? So and it shows both of those in the same hand. Well, when you have something come up that is starting to go corporate like this, and just by doing that, it's destroying both the passion and the education of things because it wants to corporalize it all, and you can't genuinely teach something when you're under that type of image, you know?
Right, it's all monopoly now. That's like one of my favorite YouTubers. It, I've stopped watching him because he has Chewy as his main sponsor now. Chewy.com is now
Yeah.
is one of his main primary sponsors. So I
For a
quit
reptile?
watching. Yeah, I quit watching them because they sell reptile supplies and everything else, but yet he was always support your local, and now he's got them as a main representation, and now he does talkings for them and everything else. I'm done watching him. I unsubscribed to him because of it.
That's the thing. Once you go corporate, you go, I hate to use the term brainwash, but you have to act by every action that they tell you to do.
I know, and that's the bad part. He was never like that until he got them as a sponsor. He just got paid. They paid an all expense trip for him. If TPR is listening, you're the only Canadian I like because this keeper is actually out of Canada. That was like me, like most of the other people. Small business. I get he's trying to do what he is, but no. Past weekend, they had a show out in California. Chewy paid his all expense trip from Canada, spend the whole weekend from Thursday till Sunday night, flew everything to be at their booth at this reptile show that they used to never have a part in. Yeah.
Well,
So I mean, I get trying to make something of yourself, but at the same time, that I consider that a sellout.
it is. It is.
And the
I
guy's a
mean,
great dude. He's a great dude. I get it, but at the same time, all you're doing is hurting people.
well, once again, it's all the smaller fine print, you know? Once you sign under something like that, then you have a bunch of these things that don't do this certain way, you know what I mean?
Well, that's like you go into Petco, you go into these corporate chains. The way you were taught the proper way to take care of animals, I get they're there just to flip, but the care is not proper. But yet you're going to be support these people by letting them be your sponsor? No.
Wally, that goes into like
Basically, go ahead.
all I was gonna say is a little example of that is let's say people who have dumpster dived at some of these pet chains, dude. You find fucking live animals out in the fucking back of the dumpster, dude.
Look how many fish are found. There's people that they've made YouTube videos of the fish that's just been thrown out.
It's sickening, man. It's sickening.
But the only thing I will give Chewy credit for is they're not into selling animals, but
Yeah,
they're in the hurting of the supply and demand of our cages, supplies, shit like that we could buy directly from say Zoom Med, Universal Rock, um, Dubai. I get it; they're selling their products, and you can get it a little bit cheaper, but that's also hurting, the main stable of those businesses.
yeah. Uh, how do I say? Business in the underbelly of it gets extreme about that shit. They do
Oh
if something
yeah,
impacts their corporality enough that they fucking do shit about it.
right. And it's just that's like my small pet store here. They have a hell of a time getting supplies because they're not a big corporate chain. Like on the reptile side, even though they've got stuff set up and everything, they still have a hard time getting fluker bulbs, getting Zoom Med, the name brand stuff that's there for us keepers. They
Yeah.
have even a hard time because they're not Petco, they're not this and that.
You just said ZoomEd. When I was doing the whole leopard gecko thing, that was one of the primary brands I used, and you're right, it's the only place I could find it.
Yeah, and I have my beardies and shit are in Zoom Meds and everything. That's what they're in. And Exoterra, they're in
Yup.
those. But now you can go on Chewy, buy the exact same things. My problem is it's back to people don't want to get out. The thing
Yep.
of it is, when you have this shit shipped because they're glass, I've seen so many complaints because of what they use, the companies they use to ship them. They don't take care of the shit, and they end up with broken products.
Yeah.
Instead of getting off their ass and driving 10, 20 minutes, half hour to go get what you need.
Well, here's my thing. As a company, you should feel some sort of way about that. Your inventory is being damaged.
Yeah, you'd think, especially with like Chewy being your supplier, being like
Yep.
your middleman to get to the consumer, because they
Yup.
use UPS, FedEx, whatever, and the way it's packaged and stuff coming from Chewy,
Yes.
it's not done properly and it's mishandled wrong. And you, when you go to put it together, you've got broken glass, you've got broken support systems. I mean, I've seen it. Seen online the reviews of the shit. And but that's
Yeah.
the way everything is now. If you can get it offline and have it shipped to your house without going out, people are doing it.
See, I
I'm a,
well,
I'm okay with certain things, but when it comes to fragile shit like that, I'm gonna willing if I need to buy, I'm gonna go buy it and bring it home that way. Then I know
well,
it's gonna
yeah,
come home in one piece.
well, yeah. I mean, how do I say? From one end perspective, of course, with the geckos and raising them, but from another point of perspective, I used to help my uncle emulate full ecosystems inside of huge, huge terrariums.
Yeah, and you
And
got
oh,
that's the thing. You anymore now, people aren't actually going to greenhouses. Oh, look, they got an online store. We're gonna order them and have them shipped now. Who's saying you're actually gonna get what you picked off the store? I like personally
right.
going and looking, myself and picking what I'm paying for. So I know
So
I'm getting something good.
that is the one thing that we prided ourselves on whenever we do this is that we fully researched every single thing that went in that tank and made sure that we bought from sustainable, reputable, stable
Right.
sources.
Well, and that's like with the whole morph market, man. The buy off
Well,
of that and everything else. It gives you the opportunity to buy off good breeders that take pride in their animals.
Eh, that's another reason why I talked about the things that go in the tank because I've seen from of course let's say my leopard geckos once again when they aren't happy and they aren't thriving you can very
Oh
much
yeah,
tell.
you can tell with them all. I mean, in a way you can with your snakes, but the lizards and shit like that, your turtles and stuff, you can see
Yeah,
the way they act. I mean, sometimes you can, because you got a smaller animal, you put it in a smaller area, it thrives better until it's bigger. You put one of those in a bigger area because, oh, it's going to get big. It doesn't thrive as well. It wants to hide all the time. It won't eat. Then it ends up sick because it's not eating. But yeah, it's getting to the point that big corporate's going to be running everything like it already does with a lot of shit.
seeing for something that is literally nature itself. That's sad to see, man.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, Chewy's your supply and middleman kind of deal. Yeah, you can kind of save money with it and everything else. But still, don't say you're. It just pisses me off when you say you're there for the people because you started out as them. Why would you go and get that person as a sponsor? You know what I mean? And then start doing shit for them.
It says a lot about it. It does. It says that you stand behind the corporeality about it instead of the genuineness of the field itself.
Right. And I mean, I get it. I mean, you need to make money too to supply what you're doing because you're not going to sit and keep making millions, a bunch of money off your YouTube channel. But still, it's just the principle of the matter.
Yeah.
You
Yeah, if that goes into
contradict
making
yourself.
honest money, though.
Yeah. I mean, if he would have explained, hey, this is going to help me progress my channel, everything else, doing this, I get it. But at the same time, who's to say in that fine line when they're going to say, well, you can't do this now because we're sponsored. So it's going to end up biting him in the ass if he's not careful.
Very,
But yeah,
very much so.
this is the guy I was telling you about had that Fiji iguana that we can't have here in the States.
Um,
It's Adam Wickens, Wickens Wicked Reptiles out of Canada when I was telling TPR about it. But yeah, he's sponsored by Chewy now, so. But he wants to. He says he wants to there to help him where he can go, travel to different countries, understand things. But like I said, how long are they going to allow that sponsorship money to go that far? And then
yeah.
you're going to be considered a corporate sellout. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Uh, I'm sorry, but once again, when it comes to the whole working with your passion, working with the passion of Mother Nature, that's the last thing you want to be.
Right.
It,
And
it doesn't look good.
I get it. Get sponsored like by ZoomEd, Exoterra, Venom Life, which is your right with your snake hooks and shit like that. If you work with Venomous, there's a bunch of them out there, that do the sponsorship stuff. I
Yeah.
get it because you're showing off their product with what they're meant to be used for.
Yes.
Chewy is just a big middle person corporation like Amazon is that they're making their big bucks off of it. Oh, we're going to throw a big name in here. Oh, since he's using it, we're going to draw more people to this instead of staying small businesses, the mom and pop stuff.
Right.
Yeah, here let me see if I can find that article I just read today.
It, have we mentioned, Wally brother? Have we mentioned tonight yet the Zoom Ed products?
We talked to, like I said, I got a couple of the terrariums that are Zoom Med, but you can talk about them. Go ahead while I'm looking this up, bud.
I honestly, I had a decent experience with them. I used their tank there. I forgot what size it was, but it had the doors that opened up from the front.
Yep, I've got a couple of those. Yeah,
I like them, man. I like them. They're a lot more easier to handle and a lot more easier to organize the tank than the overhead ones where you have to train yourself just to access the thing.
yeah, Dubai.com, which is also Morph Market's owner, everything else, and he sells his own custom cages. It's a nice little long read, but I'm gonna read to it. Our hobby is
Yeah.
at risk. Big corporations don't enter hobbies to support them, they enter to control them. We've watched what happens when companies like Amazon, Chewy, PetSmart, and Petco move into niche communities. Small businesses are getting squeezed out. Big companies often look cheaper at first, oops, because they can sell at or below the cost of what it actually you're getting your supplies from. I get it. But then the thing is they're closing your mom and pop local shops.
Yeah.
Prices once they get what they want, prices will go through the roof. Quality goes down of everything. Um, the hobby exists. This is the ending of it. The hobby exists because of breeders, independent reptile businesses, passionate hobbyists actually care about the animals and the community. And Dubai sits here, and I agree 100% with him. We will always stand with him. Says support reptile breeders, reptile businesses, support the hobby before it's by companies that was never built by, which is the truth. The reptile hobby was not built on a corporation.
No. I mean, hell, it goes right back to what it literally is. It's nature. How do
Yeah,
we get nature with
it's
starting
our
corporate?
it's our way of where we can't have nature in the wild. I mean, I get it. It's kind of a two-sided thing. but at the same time we get to keep something that we don't would never get a chance to spend the money to go, like we were talking earlier, go to Australia and see the bearded dragons or the frilled dragons in Australia because it costs so much to go over to do that shit when
Hmm.
we can do it right here in our own home, and then educate people about what you know about them or do more research to teach.
Yeah. Um, there was actually something that going back to when I was helping my uncle with those terrariums. There was a goal with
Hmm.
that in mind. So there is a breed of tree frog here in New York that is in it's endangered. You
Really?
really don't see it much. Yeah. What's
Nice.
that, brother?
I was saying, which kind were they?
So that's what I'm seeing now is the name here. Um, I think they were the peepers. The thing is, though, you don't see them anymore. You
Right.
don't see them at all. Now, back even a little less than 10 years ago, yeah, right around 10 years ago, I saw them all over the place. Sure, they weren't, you know, even there. You could see that their numbers were dwindling down, but you still saw them. So, yeah,
But yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. Uh oh, Johnny's got something to share. But yeah, so like he's talking with the endangered, some of them you ain't even ever gonna be, and a lot of these breeders out here are breeding these animals, and they're getting for conservation, are actually getting returned back to the wild. So I mean, it's cool what a bunch of them are doing, and then there's others that aren't doing that. I mean, but the ones I follow and everything, a lot of them are doing trying to help conserve what's not there, or they're limited to in the wild, and they're reproducing. I mean, it's just one of those deals. And yeah, it's just sad the way it's like any community though. I mean, back to where we were at and everything else. That it's the uneducated people that get irritated with the stuff and everything else. I mean, and it sucks because people like me get punished.
sorry about that.
You're good, but
Um,
yeah, that what I was saying is a lot of people, the breeder, I was telling everybody, like the breeders, some of them do it for conservation because they're so minimal in the wild and stuff that they do them and they return them to the wild, which is cool as hell.
so that is exactly what I was going to talk about before I walked away. Um, this species of tree frog here in New York. I didn't even know New York had tree frogs. First off, we got one species of them that is it's endangered. Like you barely ever see it. Um,
So it's up in the northern part by the border and shit, where the woods and up by the wooded areas of northern New York. Then
yes,
got
and it
it. Okay,
gets so specific that it goes by county as well.
really?
Yes,
Damn.
yes. Um, well, they were the spring peepers.
Oh, okay. I've heard of those.
Yeah.
So
Um,
you guys were raising those up and releasing them?
yes, because when we around this time and still kind of so they were on the I believe it was the endangered list. Not so much not the threatened part, but the endangered part of it.
So basically, almost to extinction.
Yes.
Damn.
And when my uncle started teaching me about building like actual active ecosystems inside of terrariums out of the things that we find out in the wild and made sure they
Hmm.
were sterile and all that such that nothing got sick. Um, that was one of the goals that we commonly had in mind was to at least around the area that we lived bring this species back a little bit.
That's cool. Yeah, and you see that in a lot of the communities. If you look it up, there's a lot of them out there that do that stuff in certain states and everything. I've seen it through some of them. Kevin McCurley, there in New Hampshire, he's also been helping do stuff. Um, Barchek did a bunch of that stuff there for a while before his timely passing. Which sad part was yesterday was his 2 year anniversary of his passing. Unfortunately,
Oh
yeah,
my
it's
god.
already been 2 years. So um,
Whoa.
and
Time's
and
flying.
Dingo was doing that stuff out in South Africa with what he was doing before he passed away. He was big conservative and stuff on that. So
Yeah. Uh, it's one of the things that I really feel a passion about if I could ever get back into reptiles again.
oh
Reptiles and
yeah,
amphibians.
well, it's just I mean it's there. You got the drive for it, man. It's just when the time's right, like you said for yourself, to do that.
See, right now in the space where I'm at, sadly, I don't have the space nor the care resources to do so right now.
Right.
But I can't wait till I do again. I used to have a hell of a passion for it, and I
Oh, I
still
love
do.
it. I love it.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, other than that, man, I really don't. Unfortunately, I don't have anything else really to talk about tonight on this side of this. I need to start doing some more homework between now and next week, and share some information and stuff.
Yeah.
Start looking things up. But yeah, I just wanted to share what knowledge I have now going on, and I found out, and appreciate you sharing what your side of things. Um,
Of course. Happy to.
So, with that, everybody, thank you for tuning in to the Chatter's Box tonight and stuff. I know we didn't have very much stuff to talk about animal wise, or mostly talking about the lulls and what's been going on. It needs to be spread out there. Um, they're taking not only our rights, the animals' rights away. I mean, it's just the opposite. It's the same thing as us losing our rights for certain things. Um,
Yeah.
everybody, U.S. ARC, they are United Reptile Keepers. They fight for our rights to keep our animals. They've been fighting for the rights to keep your cats, dogs, and mammals now too, just besides reptiles because it's getting this bad. So
Yeah.
they kind of expanded their horizon. Um, but yeah, Johnny, once again, thank you once again for co-hosting tonight. Everybody, thank you for tuning
Thank you,
in.
brother. Always a pleasure.
Um, Sunday night, I'm actually Sunday and Monday this coming week. I am got back-to-back Speedway stories. I have a guest that previously was on the show. Um, we broke garage. My buddy Corey Butcher and his son Hunter will be on Sunday night at 6 o'clock for a special Speedway stories. Um, Hunter's going to talk about his S10 build, and Corey's going to talk about their plans and stuff for their drag and drive events Sunday night. So everybody tune in then for a special Speedway stories. And then we're back to the regular 8 o'clock show on Monday night. I have Tyler Mead with me and Johnny on the show talking about the rough truck racing and his racing career, what got him started. Um, and if anybody knows any other guests that wants to come up and talk about, their animals or any motorsports stuff with us, hit me or Johnny up in Messenger or
Yeah.
whatever if you got us. I'm more than
Sure.
glad to have you guys. Um, I can work around schedules if we have to. We can switch things around if we need to. If a Monday or something doesn't work or a Thursday, just let me know or let Johnny know. I'd love to have you
Whatever
guys up
details
here.
I get, I can share with you right over Facebook.
Yep, let me know. Once again, like I said, thank you all for tuning in for Cold Blood Conversation tonight.
Thank you, brother.
Me and Johnny will see you guys Sunday night at 6 o'clock for a special
Yep.
Speedway Stories. You guys all have a good night. We'll talk to you later.
Have a
Bye.
good night, y'all. Bye.